The room settles after a wave of applause fades into warm laughter. The atmosphere feels familiar, almost like old friends meeting again after a long road apart. Someone steps forward, clearly recognized and warmly welcomed, even before a word is spoken. The kind of welcome that doesn't need introductions. The guest smiles, slightly surprised, admitting they didn't even know they were expected to stop by. They were in town for another event, something lighthearted, a tribute filled with jokes and memories. But when they heard a familiar voice was nearby, curiosity pulled them in. There's a moment of sincere praise. An article had been read recently, something thoughtful, something rare. A piece that didn't just critique but genuinely appreciated years of work. The guest says it plainly. Some things only come along once in a lifetime, and that article was one of them. It was deserved, beautifully written, the kind of praise that stays with you. A laugh follows. Praise always sounds better when it comes unexpectedly, especially when it arrives from a place known more for criticism than kindness. The conversation drifts naturally, touching on travel plans and packed schedules. Life, it seems, never slows down. Tomorrow brings another journey, another city, another obligation. A place with a famous name that always sparks curiosity. People often ask if there's some deep family connection behind it. There is, just coincidence. Though the idea of being linked to legendary figures of the past always carried a certain charm. Health comes up next, a serious subject handled lightly. Old habits have been left behind, not out of weakness but necessity. The body makes its rules clear eventually. What once felt harmless now brings discomfort. Even a single indulgence has consequences, so changes are made, reluctantly but wisely. Coffee is poured, not the fancy kind, just strong, honest coffee, the kind that doesn't pretend to be anything else. There's a joke about homemade spirits and old traditions, followed by laughter that hints at stories too wild to tell on air. Then comes the reason for the visit. A special project is returning, something created years ago with care, friendship, and pride. A show built by people who mattered, people who believed in honoring the past while celebrating the present. It had already proven itself once. Now it was being brought back for a historic moment, timed perfectly to reflect on a nation's journey. The guest speaks about it with genuine pride, not because of the spotlight, but because of the people involved. Familiar faces, legends, friends who shared the screen not for fame, but for respect. There's talk of reviews, critics, the strange divide between what people love and what reviewers decide. Sometimes the audience understands something critics never do. Rumors surface as they always do. Retirement, final performances, whispers that refuse to disappear. The response is simple and honest. Work continues. Another film waits. Another story needs telling. The next project is mentioned, a role rooted in age, reflection, and consequence. A man shaped by his past. A gunfighter nearing the end of his road. The kind of role that doesn't glorify violence but examines it. A character from a time when words like hero didn't come easily and survival demanded hard choices. History is discussed, the truth behind legends. The men who became symbols weren't perfect. They lived in a rough world and did what was necessary to survive it. Sometimes that meant acting first. Sometimes that meant becoming something darker than the stories would later admit. There's a moment of reflection on past roles, on-screen deaths, scenes remembered by audiences long after filming ended. A quiet acknowledgement that slowing down an enemy, even at a cost, can change everything. The visit draws to a close. Gratitude is exchanged, not formal, not rehearsed, just real, a wish for the coming year, a hope to meet again soon. As the guest steps away, music rises gently in the background, carrying the feeling of something timeless, of careers built on resilience, friendship, and stories that refuse to fade.